It's locked. Let me unlock it. Hang on. We'll unlock it. There we go. Right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Welcome to the first and probably last Trips with Treadz with special guest Billy Burns. Say hello to the people, Bill.
Hey everybody. Let's get it. Right, mate. This is my thing. This is all on you. So you just do you, and I'll do me, and then we'll get on with it.
Well, I reckon we probably set the mood and probably put some music on for a start. I reckon, and just see how it takes us. It's quite an emotional song. So
what is this?
It's "Goodbye My Lover" by James Blunt.
I know, man. That's sad.
Just for the start.
Don't. Don't. Stop it.
All right, it's enough of that. It's enough of that.
It's a good tune.
So yeah, mate. Last week's of training. How you sort of like feel about it? Like the last week, I suppose. How do you get your head around that, or do you just sort of focus on it? Or
it's weird. Like I feel like can we turn this music off?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Okay, we'll turn it down.
It's weird. I feel like I was actually saying to Jade the other day, it feels like I've been here for ages, but then suddenly now that it's coming to an end, I feel like I only just got here. Like I remember my first day and stuff, and it only feels like yesterday. But yeah, it's weird, it's sad, but then it's also like, I'd be lying if I said I'm not also excited about a bit of change, but got a lot of good mates here, a lot of good memories. So yeah, I'm just going to make the most of the last week, enjoy training.
And then obviously you said about, you remember your first day, it feels like it was only yesterday. Like, can you remember your sort of first week coming in? I know obviously the first sort of month I didn't really like you. So
yeah, no, you didn't speak to me for a year. I came over and I remember before I came, I looked through the squad. Obviously I knew most of the boys and I was thinking, right, like Will Addison was obviously, he signed that year, played against me in the Premiership, from England, like we'll be all right. He was great to me, like the minute I signed, text me saying anything you need, even though he was new to the club as well. Yeah. And I seen you and I was like, he'll be the same. And it was the absolute opposite.
You were wearing chino shorts on your first day. I mean, like, how am I meant to like?
One thing I would say, one of my biggest achievements in my whole time here is when I first came in, the style, people's clobber in the squad was shocking, and I've come in and I feel like I've really like pushed that up. But yeah, my first week I remember it clearly because I came over and I didn't have a house sorted. You agree with that? I didn't have a house sorted, and the club put me in Le Mans, and I remember coming over and I was in the hotel room the night before my first training day, and I was absolutely bricking it. And then I came in, and lucky enough, when I pulled into the car park, Will Addison was just pulling in as well. So straight away he sort of let me in. And it was weird because when I was at Gloucester, I always pictured that I'd stay at Gloucester forever. Like I loved it there, I had such good friends there, but then the move came and it was too good to turn down. And then yeah, I came in, and to be fair, everyone was sound straight away. Like I was lucky we came in and we only had 4 days training. We had a three day sort of long weekend. Yeah. And we went straight and had a barbecue up at Le Mans. So I got to have a few beers with the boys.
So you got the team to come all the way to where you were set. Yeah, that sums you up really.
It was just by coincidence. But nah, like I said earlier, it feels like yesterday, but it was good.
Was you nervous coming in because you were like you were the head of the table sort of thing? You were number 10, you were the leader, you had the gavel. Do you know what I mean?
I think so. Yeah, I think so, because I also know that like I wasn't a well-known name. Like I'd played a lot in the Premiership and stuff, but I wasn't like I was coming in as a big name. So I felt like I had to prove myself as well to the lads, and then to obviously the coaches and obviously the fans as well. So there was a bit of pressure on me in that way, and it took me a little while to get used to that. But then, as the weeks went by, and the coaching staff, in fairness, at that point were like Peely, Jared Payne, Soap was the skills coach. They were all class because they made me feel real like comfortable straight away. Yeah. And then because it's a good group of lads, like obviously you know what all the boys are like. After a couple of weeks, you feel like you've been here a long time, so it was easy. But yeah, like it's the best decision I've ever made for sure.
And then sort of like you've been here for, what was it, 6 years now? Is it 6 years?
6 years, yeah. This will be
like,
6th year. What
would be sort of the moment that sort of sticks out for you, like on the pitch and then off the pitch, or just something?
It's so hard. On the pitch, there's so many. Like even ones like I really enjoyed the game that we played here against Bath when Fred was obviously playing for Bath in the Champions Cup.
That's the Better Burns, isn't it? That one?
The Better Burns, yeah. Why would you say that?
Well, just because hopefully he's watching and we can be good mates now. Do you know what I mean?
So that was good. I think the other one that really sticks in my head on the pitch was it was the Leinster game where Juma took the intercept, almost last play of the game.
Oh yeah.
And for loads of different reasons, because I remember that week was mental because I think Soaps and JP both went down with COVID, I think, didn't they? And they didn't come in all week, and they weren't at the game.
No.
And it was kind of like, I remember going into the game and it was like nobody really gave us a chance, and also like preparation hadn't been ideal, out of our control obviously. But then we went down there, proper dogged game. And then Juma at the end, it was so in the balance, and they were probably on top for a little while. And Juma comes up with that intercept, and I remember I made the tackle just before he made the intercept, and I looked up.
You made a tackle?
I tried to make a tackle.
Okay.
And I seen him run in, and it was just relief. And like afterwards, the change room, like it was just class. Like it was such a relief, and everybody was buzzing, and it sort of kicked us on a little bit. So that would be my one on the pitch. Off the pitch, I love the South Africa trips. Love the South Africa trips. Like, there's something about going away
for a long period of time.
Decent like, 2-week period. Obviously the weather's great and all that sort of stuff, but it's actually just the crack that we have is unreal. Like, and I was fortunate again in my first year actually. I think we went to South Africa maybe the 3rd or 4th week. Yeah. So it was good because I was away and like, because you're staying in the hotel together, you're eating dinner together, you're having breakfast together, you're going out together, like you got to know a lot of people. So any of those South Africa trips I loved. I really enjoyed the one this year actually because I knew it would be my last with this group as well, so I really made the most of it. And it also was kind of, it helped in a way because I knew before that I was leaving, I could just fully buy into everything and spend a lot of time with the boys, and it was awesome. Lots
of time spending in the sushi place, wasn't it?
Sushi Cafe, yeah, that's the one place. Well, I'll obviously be hopefully going back there months next year, but I'll miss Willoughby sushi. McCluskey there every night eating sushi.
That's a plug there.
Even though Steph, our nutritionist, like does a big PowerPoint about like night before game. Yeah. Do not eat sushi.
Don't shower with cold water.
You can guarantee McCluskey's in there eating sushi.
I'd say every night.
Every night. But yeah, those would be going back to your question, those would be my ones, I'd say.
So right, we'll go quick fire round here.
I'm terrible at quick fire questions, by the way, because I can't think. I'm not very smart, so it takes me like 10 seconds. So don't shout.
Yeah, but like, go off your emotion.
Yeah, I will. All right.
So first one is best teammate to room with on the away trip. Obviously, like I'll take my name out of the hat because I know I'm.
Do you know what? If I really enjoyed rooming with KV, so I roomed with KV my first year or maybe 2 years. I can't remember how long KV stayed for. I roomed with KV, and that was great because
he was a mentor.
KV can have a conversation with a wall, like he just talks, and it was great because he was at the club for a long time, so he was always sound. He didn't snore, although he did wear like retainers, and he'd always do that thing, you know, with retainers where he'd take them out and be like, yeah, it would make me feel sick. And then you'd be, obviously I've roomed with you for a long time, and you're a good roommate. The only constructive criticism I'll give you is to like you for people watching. Treadz brings two like.
Oh, hang on a minute.
I have to. Do
you know what? This is Tripz with Treadz.
It's my last week. Like I said, he brings like these two crystals, and he does this thing like before bed and morning of a game where he holds the crystals, and he claims that they give him like a shot of energy and power and stuff, and he does this thing where he shakes, and I'm literally every time I'm watching it, and it's wild. But yeah, no, I'll give you best roomie. Again, okay. That's not very quick fire. I'll make these quicker.
Oh, shoot myself in the foot with these questions, to be honest. Who is going to be the next up and coming best talent for Ulster that you've seen or trained with or played with, or sort of most potential, should we say?
Genuinely, like there's so many people I could say. But quickfire, it would be, and I don't think people would expect me to say this, but James McNabney.
The horse?
Yeah, he's a freak. Like he's played a couple of games for us, and he's been class. And yeah, I think he could be a real superstar if he keeps going the way he is.
This next one is more like, so it's your funniest memory of Ulster, and like, maybe it could be on or off the pitch. So it's up to you.
Funniest memory at Ulster. A lot of them have been when we've been drunk.
We don't drink, but we're professional athletes, so...
I don't actually know what my funniest... That sounds really bad, but I've got loads of funny memories, but I can't think of the best one. Probably... do you know what was funny? Do you know what was funny, actually? I enjoyed it.
If you're stitching
it's because you're next to me, but it was the game against Quins. I can't remember which one it was.
No, I don't think that's suitable. I actually don't know if that is suitable.
We were 20 minutes into the game, you go running off, and I was like...
No,
what's happened to Treadz? Why is he injured?
This is definitely not suitable.
I found out at half time that you had the squits, didn't you? You had the poos. And you had the runs.
I was very ill.
And it was hilarious because I was like, it was quite a big game, wasn't it? It was
European knockout, right?
Yeah, and I was like, this bloke's gone off. The other one that was funny was the other week when you broke your ribs and you were crying in the middle of the pitch.
No, hang on, this isn't like take the mick out of me trip, right?
Yeah.
I'm the host of this, right?
Do you know what my funniest moments are?
I don't want to know.
Do you know what my other funniest moments are? Is whenever Shanners makes a line break in training or in a game, like when he runs with the ball looks so big, and like we could be in a really like important moment in the game, and he'll make a line break with the ball in his hand, and I just laugh. It just makes me laugh all the time. But there's loads. I can't pick one. And
well, I suppose your worst away trip then. So where's the worst place that you don't like going? Like that could be like stadium atmosphere or just as a place.
I'd say there's not many places I don't like going.
Is it Munster?
But I really enjoy going to Munster actually.
Of course you do.
I have like a specific moment, which is, do you remember the trip to Cardiff during Cardiff?
Cardiff?
The trip to Newport when we played Cardiff, and we are playing. There was something wrong with the plane, and we were doing a walkthrough in the
with Marty's
airport
pillow.
With Marty Moore's pillow, and we landed. Was it the Dragons we played, or was it Cardiff? It was definitely
It was Cardiff. Because
at the Dragons, won it, and Michael Larry scored the try before half time.
Yes, yeah.
I remember that trip. We landed, and I think we must have had maybe an hour and a half before kickoff. And the funniest bit was we got to the hotel, and there was people eating their pre-match meal whilst the physio was strapping them.
Yeah.
And then we went and got the win. So there'd be that one, or the other worst trip was sail away.
Oh, that was
when
terrible.
our flight got cancelled the night before, and I remember we were on the bus to the game, the one we got stuffed in, and we were on the way to the game, and I looked at my maps, and we were like, it was an hour and a half till kickoff, and we were 10 minutes from the AJ Bell Stadium, and I literally looked down the bus, and the whole bus was asleep.
We were just landing.
And I was like,
the gaffer's coming down, going off.
Yeah, trying to wake up. Yeah. So one of them two.
And then I suppose this is like a two-part question, but like, is there something you'll miss about Belfast, like, or Ulster, like, as a place? That can be cafe, restaurant, people. I'll miss all the nice, like, there's loads of nice restaurants and nice places to eat. So I really enjoy that. In terms of Ulster, like, I'll miss just like the Kingspan's a special place to play, isn't it? Like it's. I remember the days of like you'd watch European games and stuff, and it was always one of those iconic stadiums. And there's such a great atmosphere to play in, especially on a Friday night lights, yeah.
So I'll miss that. Like I'm very fortunate that obviously I'm going to another place with a huge amount of history and a cool place to play. So I'm fortunate in that regard. But I will miss that. There's loads I'll miss. I'll miss. Like obviously I miss all the boys I get on. I've got so many good mates here now.
That actually leads me on to my next question. No, it's not a question, but I'm just going to put it in there. Who's your best friend?
John Andrew. It'd be a toss-up between John Andrew and Shanners.
Is it because of the crystals?
No, nah, you be
I'm messing. That's not
I got
even,
loads of good mates because I'm quite
you're
a good lad.
Yeah, you're so popular. Everyone loves you.
Who's your best mate?
My wife.
Oh, you stitched me up. You stitched me up. I thought it was in the rugby environment.
Oh no, it wasn't the question. It was. We'll cut that one.
You're obviously my best mate.
We'll cut that one out. Don't worry, guys. It's all right. So this is quite a bit of a, I suppose, quite a deep one. This, but like.
Oh, stop. Do we need to put music back on?
No, we can't because I don't know what's on shuffle. I don't know what's coming on next. What do you want to be like remembered by the supporters, or remembered for, or?
Jeepers.
I know it's quite a deep question that for a car.
I've come in the first year or so, like I probably didn't understand what it meant to represent this place, and then I sort of learned that over time, and I'd hope that one thing that I've shown, whether I've played well, whether I've played poorly, is like I've always been committed, and I've always put in 100% effort, and it's never been through lack of trying. And I think that's all you can ask of people. Like, say that a lot of the time to the young lads is like, ultimately you only get in the door here if you're talented at rugby, and not every week's going to go perfectly well for you, but as long as you put in the effort, and I think that's all the fans want to see. So I hope that, again, like I said, whether it's been good performance or poor performance, it's not ever been through lack of trying. I've always given my all for the team, and I've always wanted to represent the province well, and I get a lot of joy out of seeing the fans enjoy our performances, and obviously the buzz in change rooms afterwards and stuff like that. So a hard-working player, like, who always gives his all. And I'm not always perfect, but I try my best.
And you're obviously such a massive role model and hero of many young players. Yeah, I think so. I have to ask him. We'll get them on next, and we'll ask
Can we
him.
cut that bit?
Your final question is, like, have you got a message for the fans or people that are tuning in and listening to Tripz?
I'd be pretty confident no one's tuning into this.
I think
be pretty confident.
Like, I reckon, like,
do you know who they should have got back to do this? Not you're doing a good job.
What do you mean?
Jack McGrath would be great at this.
No, he wouldn't be. No, he wouldn't be. It'd be terrible. Well, maybe in his lorry.
Actually,
it'd be great.
can I go back to, you know, I'll answer that question in a second, but going back to one of my favourite memories, do you remember we did the ice bath challenge with Jack? And he pulled my false tooth out. I don't have that false tooth. That's a highlight of mine.
You had the coat on.
That's right, yeah, that's a highlight of mine. A message to the fans, supporters, just thank you, really. Like, I guess I come over here a long time ago, well, 6 years ago, feels like a long time ago, and whether I've bumped into people in the supermarket, whether it's been at games, everyone's always been really welcoming, made me feel at home, made my family feel at home as well, which is great. Supported me through the good times, stuck with me through the bad times as well. And yeah, like I think on a whole, like, I'll always have this place will always be incredibly special to me. It was I've done so much in my life in rugby and outside of rugby in Belfast, in Northern Ireland, and it'll always be a special place to me. So I appreciate everyone giving me the support. Like the last game against Leinster at home, I was actually blown up. I was pretty nervous before, because you never know what sort of reaction you're going to get, and I walked around the pitch with Ada, which was really special, and Jade was there as well, and the amount of well wishes I got and messages of goodwill and stuff was incredible. So I really appreciate all that from the bottom of my heart, and yeah, it's been an awesome 6 years for me, and I hope it's been the same for you guys. And all the best in the future. Please don't boo me if I am involved for Munster when I come back. Please don't, but I'm sure it will happen. But yeah, I really appreciate all your support.
Well, like, on, I suppose, behalf on me and like the squad and stuff like that, well, we will miss you. I know we give you a hard time, but we will miss you, and like, maybe no, we won't.
You won't. There'll be photo. You're the first day. There'll be a photo of you of Aidan Morgan, and you'll be doing this little thing, and it'll be like
it's for the fans, Bill. Just play it along for the fans, something like.
Yeah, fair enough.
Are we driving on the pitch here? We could do. Should we?
We got to go training. Good job, mate.
Right.
I appreciate that.
That's all right.
I enjoyed it as well.
So
thanks,
tune in next time to Tripz to Treadz, and don't worry, Billy's not coming on again, so that's fine.
Peace.